Becoming your best and finding true peace requires consistent effort and patience. Are you willing to pay the price? Every single moment you get is an opportunity to show gratitude by honoring your time and purpose with action, but also find that peace and calm that you so greatly deserve. You cannot make the world a better place if you consistently show up as the worst version of you. You will fail, you're going to struggle, but the way you react and choose to recover says everything about where you're actually going. Sometimes you fail and struggle, others you soar to heights you never even thought was possible. So when it's all said and done, good or bad, success or failure, the marathon will continue. You need to stay locked in and keep on going. If you choose to train your mind so that it can recover and learn from past mistakes, you become that much better. What if life was never about who could get there the fastest, but who could maintain, endure, and remain consistent even when things weren't easy? Once you reach the highest heights, who's able to remain locked in? Once you finally make it to the top, who's able to find that peace in knowing that it was never about the destination, but the journey along the way? Because on that beautiful day when you finally make it to whatever your dreams and goals were, you still got to think about what's coming next. And if the entire time as you built up to that place, you didn't enjoy any of the ride, you missed the whole point of it. The journey is the destination. The marathon does continue, and this is the infinite evolution. Many will burn out and be overrun with fatigue. When your mind and body are ready, rested, and battle tested, there's nothing you can't overcome. The only thing left is for you to wake up and realize just how ready you are, just how much power and control you have in your hand, just how much agency you have in order to change the world for the better, to create the future you desire. This is the infinite evolution. Life can be so hard, but as long as you're breathing and are of sound mind, you still have a chance. You still got a dog in the fight, and there is still a way for you to overcome, even if it doesn't feel like it. You are blessed, more than capable, and your time is now. You get to spend even more life chasing whatever dreams or goals you want, and you, out of all the beings in the universe, out of all the times throughout history, you get this moment right here to chase whatever it is you're truly passionate about, to live a life of purpose and chase the goals you truly desire. Don't let it slip away. So today we want to talk about the beauty of embracing the process, the importance of showing up day after day, even when you're tired, even when it isn't easy, and even when others didn't. In a world where everybody wants to be set apart and different from everybody else, so few people are willing to make the sacrifices it takes in order to do so. But even beyond those sacrifices, so few people truly understand what exactly is taking place. Whatever goal you have, whatever mission you on, is powerful, it's special, and you were given it for a reason. But if you never stop to smell the roses, if you never appreciate the process for what it is, it's going to be a hard time getting there. And even once you do, the journey along the way will be wasted by not living a life of gratitude. Don't let it be you. Whatever it is you're after, you've been blessed with another chance to get it. How about honoring it with the effort and gratitude it so rightly deserves? It doesn't matter if you're at the top of your game or you're working your hardest to get there. Honor the time you've been given because you understand how precious it is. As difficult as things may seem sometimes, as tricky as life can be, it's important to make sure that your mind remains focused, sharp, and committed to whatever purpose that you've been given. When it comes to running the marathon of your life, forgiveness and grace have to be at the forefront. Failure and things not going your way is a vital part of life. It teaches us patience, how to go back and improve, how to make adjustments, how not to get down on ourselves, and how to remain focused even when things aren't easy. Far too often people quit right when they're on the edge of a breakthrough, and most of the time they didn't even realize it until it was too late. Imagine being a minute or 30 seconds away from achieving everything you were hoping for, everything you worked for, but quitting because you thought that the going was too tough. Don't let it be you. You're going to fail. You're going to have setbacks. Are you willing to go back to the drawing board and find a new strategy, or do you hang your head low and forget about all the time, effort, and energy that you've been putting into it? If it's truly important, if you're truly driven by a purpose that's far bigger than you can't let it go. Every single moment that you're breathing, every single day that you get is another opportunity for you to go out there and make something happen. Oftentimes progress doesn't feel or look linear, and if you base your decision to quit on how much you can see, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Those difficult moments teach us to grow and allow us to build our capacity so that the next time we face a challenge, we know how to deal with it. You don't give up or get discouraged. You pick up your shovel and you dig in even deeper because you understand the price of quitting, especially when you're right there on the edge of doing something great. Learning to run your race and be present wherever your feet are is the key to respecting and honoring whatever your purpose is. We all face hardships, and it's usually not done at a fair or even rate. Some people get it way worse than others, but so what? If you want the excuses, they're right there for you. If you want to come up with another reason why you didn't hit the goal, why you didn't make the mark, or why whatever you were searching for didn't come to pass, the excuse will always be there, but so will the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and find another way. So if the excuse is free, but so is the solution, which one are you going to actively choose to do? Either way, you have to make a decision. Which one are you choosing? We all go through hard times. We all face hardships, and it's normally not fair. Nobody ever thinks that what they're going through is what they should be going through, that the hardship that they're facing is something that they actually earned or deserve. And even though they might be right, it still doesn't matter. The world will keep spinning, the marathon will keep going, and you need to keep running your race. There is freedom and power in finding peace in the present and understanding that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, and that embracing the moment is the best thing you could possibly do. There's a really good chance that tomorrow will come, and when it does, we will be prepared. We will study and we will do everything it takes in order to give ourselves the best shot at winning. But also, before we get distracted by the past or focused on a future that isn't here yet, we have to embrace the present and the beautiful gift that we've been given right now. The only thing that's guaranteed is the present. This moment right here, right now, is a beautiful gift, and you need to take advantage of it. Tomorrow may come, and if so, we will honor and prepare for it by doing everything we can in the moment. Building with a long-term vision and quality in mind requires a firm foundation. How willing are you to consistently lay the bricks? This also includes not overreacting, good or bad, consistently making wise decisions, not based on emotions or feelings, but based on what needs to be done and based on what is consistent and true to honoring your purpose. Because when unchecked, those emotions and feelings can lead us to do some really irrational things that might harm us in the long run, things that feel good in the moment, instant gratification, as opposed to being patient and waiting just a little bit longer for the thing your heart truly desires. Especially when you're angry, tired, hungry, afraid, confused. When certain feelings take over, logic and wisdom often go out the door. And what does that leave you with? If the world keeps spinning and the journey keeps going and you have to live another day with whatever consequence you made, be wise about the way you move. Be intentional about the way you think. Train your mind so that when you need to execute, you're actually able to do so. Understanding how your feelings can cloud judgment, even in celebration, is one of the wisest things you could ever do for yourself. It allows you to tap into the wisdom that you have as opposed to pushing it to the side because you feel some way right now. And it's far too important to ignore. Oftentimes, what you feel right now doesn't reflect what you actually want long term, and you still have to decide either way. Which one will it be? Think about the worst decisions ever made. Many of them happen spur of the moment. A decision you make in one instant could change somebody's life forever. When you understand that something you do right now in this moment could affect the entire rest of your or somebody else's journey, you tend to be a bit more cautious, which doesn't mean you can't still move with urgency and put a pace on, but discernment will never go away, and it's something you need to consistently rely on if you hope to get the best outcomes. When you make that bad decision that has life-changing effects day after day after day, the marathon you run may be impacted. Don't let it be you. Think about the car accident where somebody who knew they were exhausted, too tired to be driving, got behind the wheel anyway. It could have been prevented. They could have saved somebody a lifetime of misery, including themselves, but in that moment, they couldn't separate the forest from the trees. Forget about somebody being too tired. What about the person who has to pull out their phone to check that alert or send that text or check the email? Lives have literally been lost and changed forever, all because somebody in one selfish moment couldn't delay their gratification just for a second. Whatever email or message they just needed to check couldn't have been that important. And 9 times out of 10, if you gave them a chance to go back and do it all over, they would make a different decision. But life is often cruel in that way, and you don't always get a second chance. Sometimes the journey and race that you're on, the marathon that continues going, is a nightmare marathon that was created by you, all because you couldn't delay your gratification just for a moment. Once again, patience and delayed gratifications keeps coming back to the forefront because it's that important. How many car accidents take place because somebody is sad, angry, upset, distracted, looking at that text, choosing to be distracted and focus on everything else other than simply being a good driver? And it's certainly not optional if you're serious about protecting yourself and the people around you. You can't make the world a better place if you consistently show up as the worst version of you, or if you never take the time, give yourself the grace in order to do what it takes to level up. Understanding your biology, especially your mind, is not optional when it plays such a vital role in so many parts of our lives. And forget about the moments of distracted negativity. What about moments of celebration where somebody went just a little bit too hard? Every year somebody has a graduation, prom, wedding, birthday, some big event where somebody celebrates a little too hard and tragedy befalls. And it's often preventable. Sometimes the best moments in life end in tragedy because the people who were celebrating didn't understand just how much power they have. If the road to hell is truly paved with good intentions, how many people celebrate too hard or too long and then live to regret it? Maybe after your big moment when you decide to celebrate, maybe there is no accident or fight or any big negative thing that happens. Maybe what it does is just for a moment gets you to compromise your character. If you're a person who never drinks or consumes substances and all of a sudden you try it because in that moment you needed to celebrate, are you 100% sure that you can stop? Are you 100% sure that this moment isn't you planting a seed or something that's going to change your life for the rest of it? Be wise, be prudent, and understand that even in celebration, things can go wrong. Tomorrow will occur, but your life and well-being are not guaranteed. You do play a role in wherever you end up. Honor your time by applying the wisdom that so many people have failed to. Enjoying life is vital, but so is balance. If you're on a fitness journey and you finally hit whatever milestone or goal you had and you celebrate with bad foods or backslide into the same old habits that got you to where you were, what did you really accomplish? Like it or not, in this world we live in, one bad moment can weigh far more than 1,000 good ones. When you're young and feeling invincible, you often make decisions like there is no tomorrow. But with more life should come more experience, better decision making, and even greater levels of wisdom. Understanding the power of building with patience and urgency is one of the best things you could do. When you know that another day is coming, the marathon continues, and that the race is going to keep going with or without you, you begin to approach building with both patience and urgency. At times you'll need to sprint and run your absolute hardest. Other situations will require a calm and patient demeanor, and if you're not able to do it, you could fumble the bag. Finding that balance between patience and urgency and appreciating another chance to do so is a choice that will consistently pay dividends. Think about how many times you might have started strong only to burn out before the job was done. So if tomorrow is coming, maybe today you rest, recharge, and reflect on ways to improve. Other times as you run this beautiful race, you need to push the gas even harder and raise your intensity because you haven't been doing enough. When you appreciate and respect the opportunities to make such an adjustment, that's when your outcomes tend to be better. When we simplify all of it down to its core, what we're really talking about is being at peace with the present and the role you play in it. If we all get the same 24 hours, how you choose to spend it versus the next person is the number one reason why you end up where you are and they end up where they are. God gives us all the same 24 hours, but also He continues to give you the same test until you learn how to pass it. What if you're being tested with patience and every single time you choose instant gratification as opposed to long-term success, you reset the timer? What if you're being tested with urgency and every single time you're given an opportunity, you let it slip through your fingers because you wouldn't move quickly enough? God gives all of us the same 24 hours in a day, but also He gives you the same test over and over again until you finally learn how to pass it. True wisdom means learning from others' mistakes so that you don't have to go through it. But once you end up in a cycle where you keep going through the same thing over and over, at what point do you wake up and realize it's time to do something different? Right now is the beautiful gift that you've been given in order to make the change you ultimately been seeking. It's up to you. If you never learn how to handle, adjust, adapt to, and ultimately take care of the times, opportunities, amazing people, and every other great thing that's been placed in your life, how could you ever hope to steward even more when you can't even take care of what you have? Every single day that you are blessed with another 24 hours needs to be a day that you honor with the gratitude, action, consistency, and effort that it so rightly deserves. And much like a good apology, the greatest way to show gratitude is through action. Any and every human on earth can tell you they're sorry, but how many people will show you? What about making things right with yourself? What about keeping the word that you promised to yourself? What about showing up day after day, consistently, even when you're tired, even when you're hungry, even when your emotions are telling you not to? What about showing up then? That's when you'll get the greatest return. That's the moment that you're being tested with, and this is the infinite evolution. So many people didn't wake up today, or when they did, they found out somebody who they loved with their entire heart was taken from them before they were even ready. This is why we need to stop and smell the roses. This is why you got to give people their flowers while they can still smell them, because when you don't, the chance to do it again might not come. And what if you flip the dynamic? What if you were the creator and you kept giving this person the same opportunities over and over and over again, and they kept spitting in your face? And despite the fact that this person knew that time was fleeting, knew that they didn't have forever, they kept doing everything they could in order to make sure it didn't happen. If you need to remain still in this season, be patient and allow yourself to do so. If you need to break down and cry because your heart is broken and you need to let it all out, allow yourself to be human. Give yourself that grace, because that might just be the moment where healing begins. Whether it's the greatest or worst moments in our lives, there usually is a tomorrow. Maybe allowing yourself to go through the gamut of emotions right here and now is the only way you're going to heal. But the more you delay it, the longer it's going to take. Maybe the test that you keep being presented with is allowing yourself to feel so that eventually you can heal. Will you embrace the moment, will you live in the present and allow your heart and mind to be wherever it is? At times there is no solution. At times there are no magic words that can be said in order to make you feel better. You simply need to go through whatever the thing is. In the moment it may break you, but ultimately it'll add to your capacity, and as you continue to run the beautiful marathon of your life, you'll be able to spread that light and help others heal in the same way you once needed to. This is the infinite evolution. If you need to lock in and be disciplined, show that urgency right now and get started this moment. The day or moment you finally hit the milestone you've been working for, everything leading up and everything after, be grateful for all of it. I'm a firm believer that the journey is the destination. The moment where your life changes may only take a few seconds, but the impact may be felt for generations to come. You might spend hours, days, weeks, months, even years building up to one moment. If all of the time you spend building up to that one particular moment is spent miserable, ungrateful, not appreciating the things you've been given, you miss the point of it all. The day or moment you finally hit that milestone that you've been working so hard for, years of blood, sweat, dedication, diligence, tears, is absolutely worth celebrating with the same passion and energy that you gave the climb. As the world continues to change, you will be prepared. You choose to embrace continued growth, evolution, becoming your best self, adapting to situations, delayed gratification, embracing the moment while it's here, but also preparing for the next, to seek peace and wisdom and to appreciate the small things, because the journey, the beautiful struggle, the marathon of life, all of it will continue to march on whether you're prepared or not. So whether you're grateful, consistent, dedicated, wise, or willing to take the steps necessary in order to reach the heights you were built for, the choice remains yours. Smile and appreciate the small things, considering how likely it is that at some point in your life you're going to be scared, confused, distracted, angry, upset. But let's appreciate the time you've been given. Stop and smell the roses. Give people their flowers so they can still smell them, and live a life full of gratitude, because we understand that whatever time you've been given here on this earth is precious, and we want to honor it in the best ways possible. This is the infinite evolution. The Creator gives each and every one of us the same 24 hours, but also He keeps giving you the same test until you learn how to pass it. Life can be hard, but as long as you're breathing, healthy, and of sound mind, you have a reason to be thankful. So many people are not going to wake up today. So many more are going to wake up only to find out that somebody they love with all their heart is no longer there. Choose to be intentional and show gratitude through action for the people and opportunities that you've been blessed with, the ones that make it all worthwhile. Find balance, but also embrace imperfection. Understand that failure is a part of the journey, but so is celebration. Both have their place in life and must be respected, because whether you like it, know it, ready, or even understand it, the marathon will continue, with and without you. If you truly hope to build something great, it must be done with patience and urgency. So lock in, be consistent, appreciate the time you've been given, because every single year, month, week, day, moment that you get to run even another step in this beautiful marathon of life is a blessing. Don't ever forget it. This is the infinite evolution.